Alrighty, welcome back, guys. So this is going to be part 3 of the Altium from idea to manufacturer tutorial. So part 1, we did the schematic. Part 2, we did the layout. So for part 3, the final step is to configure the output documents. So I'm right at the part in the tutorial where it says output documentation. So I mean, basically, we can just scroll down and get into the first one. So actually, it says available output types. So it gives you like a brief introductory to all of the output types. I would say definitely don't get overwhelmed by this. Like this seemed very overwhelming to me whenever I first read it, because I just thought, oh my gosh, they're gonna be asking me, like when I send this off to an engineer, they're gonna be asking me all these questions, and I'm gonna have to be an expert at PCB, everything PCB before I can get anything manufactured. And I'll tell you, like that's not the case. Don't worry about it. In fact, pretty much every time when you create these outputs and you want to send them to a manufacturer, right? They'll have an engineer on the other end of the line, and they'll walk you through everything. They'll literally tell you everything you need and be like, hey, look, I need some help. Tell me what I need to do, and they'll tell you, oh look, we don't need the Gerber files, we need the ODB plus files or something like that. So it's really easy to like a quick Google and figure out how to generate those, and you send them to them, and all you need, like the engineer will just tell you if something's missing. So don't worry, nothing bad's gonna happen if you don't get it right the first time or anything like that. So definitely don't be overwhelmed. So take your time, read this, kind of understand what they are. Like I said, what this is great too, and maybe I'll even show it in this tutorial, but I would say, find a local PCB manufacturer and send them the files and just get a quote. You don't have to get it made. Just get a quote from them so you can kind of learn that whole process, because what was very surprising to me is like how little documentation you actually need, and stuff I thought I'd have to worry about, I didn't have to worry about it at all. So it's not this whole scary long laundry list of all these complex files that you need to get your PCB manufactured. It's a really simple, elegant process. So yeah, that's the first thing, is don't be overwhelmed at all. Like I said, so just read that list and just be aware, of the scope of all the different types of files you can generate. And I'll draw an analogy to, think of it like you have like Microsoft Word documents, or like text editors in Apple, or like the old Notepad from the olden days. That's basically what this is. These are all like just different ways of conveying the same information. Some of them have nice, graphical features to help human beings read. But at the end of the day, these are getting interpreted by a computer anyways, so it doesn't really care. That's pretty much what I'll say about that. Okay, so scrolling down, it says individual outputs or an output job file. So I say, be familiar kind of with what these are. I think for this tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and use an output job file, just because I like the way it looks. And if you even see that picture at the bottom that they're showing, that's like the interface for an output job file. So we're going to go ahead and right click on our project, and we're going to go add new to project, and it's going to be output job file. So boom, it kind of looks like this. It looks a little bit more sparser, a little bit more sparse than what the picture shows. So don't worry. I mean, even this whole like interface looked very overwhelming to me, because you got all these panels and buttons and stuff. So don't worry about that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna close these up, get it nice and compact, so we can just take it, one piece at a time. So let's see. So I'm gonna go ahead and like scroll down and kind of skip ahead. I'm gonna like browse through like ahead of the tutorial and see what it's gonna ask us to generate. So right here I see it's talking about configuring the Gerber files. Then it's talking about configuring the bill of materials. Then it's talking about generating the BOM. So first looks like we have to configure the BOM, and then it's asking us to generate the BOM. And then it says mapping design data into the generated BOM. And then boom, look at that, we're done, right? So it actually doesn't look like we have a whole lot left to do. All right. So now we kind of have an idea of how much work we have. I think it's honestly, again, like I wouldn't be worried at all. So let's see. So in order to basically what we're looking at, this little list, it kind of breaks it up into all the output file types into categories, right? Like I said, you have your net list, simulator outputs, documentation outputs, assembly outputs, fabrication, import, validation, export. So I'll tell you from my experience, I don't really mess around with netlist outputs or simulator. Maybe some documentation outputs. We'll open that one. Assembly outputs, definitely. Fabrication outputs, you betcha. Report outputs, perhaps. Validation outputs, I don't think so. Let me see. Yeah, I don't really do. None of these are remember the goal of this tutorial video is to actually be able to get your PC manufactured. So I'm only going to stick to things that kind of matter for that. Like obviously there's cases where you could use other categories for whatever reason, but for me, in my experience, like I haven't used these when I get PCBs manufactured. So yeah, so nothing on the validation. Export outputs. The step file. I messed around with some step files. Step files, from my understanding, that's a lot. If you're coordinating with a mechanical engineering team, step files are helpful for them, because what you can do is you can actually import the step file, I think, into like what's the name of that 3D CAD software? I'm forgetting the name of it right now, but it's the most. What is it called? It's like the most popular one. SolidWorks. There you go. So yeah, you can import SolidWorks, import the step file into SolidWorks, I think. And so then it really helps. Like, say you're designing a case for a PCB, right? All consumer electronics, right? They go into like little cases, right? So it helps them, be aware of the actual physical structure of the components on the board, so they can make sure mechanical clearances are met and stuff. So that's what step files are for, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure about any of the other things because I haven't really used any of these. Post-process, again, I don't think I have had to use them ever. So, yeah. So, I mean, if we look at that picture, we can see right away. So it looks like okay, I'll even go into explain. So the way they kind of structured this output job file is you have your categories of like output types, and then it likes to link them into like an output container. And so I guess, a container is like a report. It's just like a formatting for how they're conveying the data or the information, right? So like the container is a PDF. So that means when you click output, you're actually going to get a physical PDF that you can open up and look. That's what the file format's going to take the shape of. So we'll even go through an example. So it says the first one is documentation outputs, and it says schematic prints. So we'll go over to documentation outputs, and schematic prints is here on the bottom. And then if you look there, they have project physical documents in brackets. So just as a brief explanation, I'm not 100% sure what this means. Like when you see we have multi-vibrator schematic doc, and the same thing looks identical. I don't know why there's two of them. But what I think this bracket is for is let's say you can save a template, which I'm pretty sure you can save it. Altium definitely lets you save templates for this types of stuff. So what this bracket does is it basically is just referring to the project physical documents in this particular project. So it says whatever project this output job file is linked to, we're going to refer to whatever physical documents. That way you don't have to come in and click every single time go on and click. And this is just showing the actual documents, right? So that way you don't have to come in every single time and click on manually select the physical documents, which happen to be multi-vibrator schematic doc in this case, right? So I hope that made sense. This is just like a pointer to whatever generic physical documents you got in the file. So it's a generic pointer to whatever specific documents you have, I should say. So then we're going down to assembly outputs. So click on that. So the first one, it just says generates pick and place files. So we're going to select assembly drawing. Well, no, we'll go in the order of the list. So we'll go generates pick and place files. So that's the first one. And then we'll go assembly drawings, and then it says assembly drawings PCB document. So right here, let's see what, there we go. That's how that, and you click on that. So here I'll pause and explain. So if you see here how when we're referencing this container type, this PDF, the assembly drawings, we can click on this one and we can link it to this container. So I'm sure you're wondering, well, what's up with this one? Why can't we link this to a container? So the reason for this is because this container type doesn't take the shape of a PDF. It takes the shape of a different file. Because remember how I said these things are actually, at the end of the day, these things are interpreted by computers. So that's what this file is. It's literally something, it's probably, not, it doesn't even make sense to humans to read. I mean, we'll open it after we generate it and see how much sense it really makes. But what at the end of the day is the PDF are easy for humans to read, right? And these files might be easier for the computers to read. So it's not going to take the shape of a PDF. That's for that reason. So I hope that makes sense there. And we'll come back to it when we link it to. Basically, it's going to be the folder structures what we'll link it to. And I'll go into detail about what that means. So just heading down the list. We're on the fabrication output section now. So we're going to generate Gerber files and NC drill files. So let's see, Gerber files. So I'll pause here. So these are probably some of the most important files, and if I'm not mistaken, you can basically the industry is making it to where you can almost generate an entire PCB fabrication. Like you can get all that information packaged into some one elegant file, like a Gerber file. I think is sort of what it's going to. Like I know ODB++ that you can also do that, because I remember I've actually gotten this manufactured. I'll talk about this at the end, but I remember when I talked to a manufacturing engineer, they were asking me for ODB++ because it had some information in it. So, I hope that makes sense. So the Gerbers are just chock full of information. So it says Gerber files, NC drill files. That's one thing I guess is the reason for learning all these files, is to figure out which ones have the information you need it in. Because they don't all have the same information packaged in the same way. But I mean, at the end of the day, you're trying to convey like an entire, think of it like maybe you're trying to send an entire book, and some files have chapters 1 through 4 in them, and then you have another set of documents has 5 through 10. But then, say a different document, the way they package it is they just go chapter 1 through 6, and so then you just got to find something that has like chapters 7 through 10 or something. I hope that makes sense, right? It's just the information is just packaged in a different way. Maybe some different machines, like newer machines, might use different files, stuff like that. That's all that really means. But at the end of the day, you're trying to convey the same exact information, because they need the same exact information in order to get your board manufactured. So I hope this is making sense to you. If it's not, comment down below and I can definitely clarify it. And I'll do extensive videos on literally every single thing we've covered. This is an introductory video just to let you know like the scope. This is to like whet your appetite. Just introduce you to a lot of different things in Altium. Okay, so now we're gonna scroll down. Looks like the last one on our list is the bill of materials. So that's in the report output section. So bill of materials. And it looks like active BOM document. So let's see. So we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we're missing one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yes, because I didn't add the NC drill files. I was too busy monologuing about that stuff like that. Drill drawings, NC drill files. There we go. Down here, and it says PCB document. Okay, so a total of 6 output files, or 6 output file types, I should say. So I'm sure you're looking at this and you're like, this is red. Red is bad. And you're right. The reason this is red is because I don't think we have an active BOM document in our project right now. So remember, this is a pointer to whatever document type it's referring to. So in this case, it's referring to a PCB document, and we have a PCB document in our thing. So we need an active BOM document in this project. So add new to project, active BOM. And okay, so this is the active BOM document right now, and all 5 of our components. So going back here, boom, it's good to go. And lastly, we link it to the PDF. So I think what I want to do is right click, and I want to save this, and I want to name it this. So actually, the reason this was here already is because I just went through this on my own, if you believe that, in order to make a better video. Even this one's probably really bad. Right now you're like, man, I couldn't imagine what it would be like if you didn't rehearse beforehand. Okay, so yeah, so that's all the PDF stuff. So it looks like that's good to go. So we can click generate content. Now to use outputs already exists. You want to overwrite? Yes. Because again, there was already a file there because I already did this. Aggravator not detecting. The reason, so this is just an error because it's generating this and it's trying to open it with the Adobe. So just don't worry about that. I don't have Adobe. All right, so boom, look at that. We click on folder structure, and what do you know? We got some other, a bunch of other circles up here. And oh yeah. I don't know if I should have done this beforehand. Let me see, because it talks about configuring. Oh, it talks about configuring the Gerber. So we haven't generated the Gerber file, so we're still okay. So I probably skipped a bunch of steps. I should have. Oh well, don't worry. So we're going back to we're on the next section of that tutorial, where it talks about configuring the Gerber files. So it says okay, so it says to configure the Gerber files, we want to just double click, and it's going to bring this up. So I don't know. I mean, so it just tells us to change a couple settings. So like millimeters. I don't really know. I mean, I didn't do this in metric. Like I did it in freedom units, baby. So oh well. The layers. This is important, probably because we wouldn't have got any layers generated. So just check the boxes. So the way Gerber files are set up, from what I understand, is they just kind of they explain information on a layer by layer basis. So you'll see like the what is it? It says, top overlay. Then you'll see the top paste layer. You see top solder layer. So it looks a lot like our PCB. Here, let me just show this part, and then we click on here. So if you remember this section of the tutorial, right? This is sort of the Gerber file goes like layer by layer like this. And we're going to basically see, I just said used on, so all the ones that we're using are basically the ones that have information on them. So the Gerber file is going to go through and explain whatever relevant information is on each layer. So, all right, we're back to double clicking on here, and we're at the part where we select the layers to export. So we're going top solder. It's going all the way to bottom solder. So, all right, so clicking on those, and then it says top pad master and bottom pad master. Now I'm not 100% sure what this is, but it's definitely something. Okay, and then the advanced. No, it doesn't say anything about. I don't have a problem with clicking on these top mechanical one. I don't think we put anything on mechanical one. I mean, we'll unclick it. It didn't say to. Once we learn more about layers, then we can get into. You'll understand exactly what this information is conveying. All right, so now we're on advanced. I don't think we have to touch anything here. So then we just click OK. So there we go. So this is configured the Gerber file. And that says configuring the bill of materials. Here, let's just see if we. Yeah, so it looks like our current BOM. Oh, this is pretty nifty. File format is MS Excel. I don't think I have Microsoft Excel. That's why it's telling me that again. Let me see if I have Excel. Nope, it doesn't look like I have Excel. So yeah, and you can even set a template, which is pretty nice. This is super important. I can tell you from experience, it's really important to get your templates, your BOM templates, formatted correctly, because you can make some major mistakes if wires get crossed between you and the manufacturing team. And these guys are usually third party, so that's how wires get crossed easily. Is make sure you got to format your BOM correctly. So that's super, super important. Okie dokie. So when we went to here, so it looks like the bill of materials was already output as. So it looks like it's giving us the option of outputting the bill of materials as an Excel document as well as a PDF. So my experience, an Excel document's usually used, or like a CSV or something like that can be interpreted like by an Excel. So let's see if No, I don't know why this is red. That worries me. But oh well, we're gonna hit generate content. There we go. So it generated it. I don't know why it was red. Maybe it was like, I don't know. I really have no idea. Yeah, we'll save all that. Maybe that's why it was red. Oh, let's do the right click. Save. No, that's file. Save all. That's a layer export file. Pick and place. Multi-vibrator out job. So then we can look at generated. Cool. And we have here. So here's all our Gerber files if you want to check these out. So, ooh, that's pretty cool, huh? If you remember, this should look familiar. It's something we routed in the PCB part. This is what a Gerber looks like. It looks kind of trippy, honestly. It's like a black void. And I know, I think it looks really neat. So then let's open up the next one just to check them out. I think these are pads, right? These remind me of the pads. They might be through holes. But I don't know what this middle one is. Or that one. Oh, these are vias, right? Because we made 2 vias. Yeah. So these are all the holes. I don't know, like, I think the LSBTLO is supposed to tell us something. Just hit okay. Yeah, see, no clue what these. See, this is what I mean. This is what is interpreted by a computer. Right, so, I mean, you could print these in PDF form, it looks like. But yeah, I mean, these look like the pads. Oh, okay, wait. I got it. So this looked like the solder mask, or the paste mask, I should say. And I'll explain all the different layers in a different video. It's beyond the scope of this video. These are, obviously, this is the overlay. And this is the signal layer, the top layer. Ooh, TL, top layer. Nice. BL, bottom layer. Look at that, we're decoding these. Oh, okay, so BS, bottom solder. PB is paste bottom. PT is paste top. TL's top layer. TO's top overlay. TP's top paste. TP is top solder. So, right, so the way the layers are set up, you have your signal layer. This is 2-layer board, right? So we have bottom layer, bottom solder mask layer, and then you have bottom, what did I say? Paste bottom, paste mask. So you have a signal, solder mask, and paste mask. Those are like the 3 things that go on each side of the layer, and then you have like some internal stuff for like vias and stuff. So, but yeah, so this is what the Gerber files look like if you're just curious. I really want to open up that. I just want to look through these and see. There must be like a BOM document, right? Or I want to go to where these are saved. Oh, I think I have it already shortcutted. So, project. Okay, so I'll just show you what it looks like on my computer. So these are on my Altium project is a multi-vibrator. So this is what your like projects folder should look like for a given project. So you have like history. I think this is for backup purposes. Project logs, no clue what that is. Oh, there we go. It looks like an ECO that we generated in the earlier tutorial. I think we generated an ECO whenever we updated the schematic and onto the PCB, if you remember that part. Should have been in the beginning of tutorial 2, I think. That's what that is. And then project outputs for free documents. I'm not 100% sure. And then it says project outputs for multi-vibrator. That one says job 1. Let's open it and see. No thanks. So I don't actually know what this is. No, let's fuck that. I'm not 100% sure what this is showing. I mean, that's a schematic, obviously, but then I don't know why it's grouping these. Like, I don't know what it would call. It just says job 1. I want to see if I can find in our. Okay, so this is the PDF, I guess, that it was referring to job 1. I don't know why it's named that, because I would rather it change. Okay, so there you go. Advanced. There must be a rename or something. Because I really want to open up the bill of materials. Because that's supposed to be on the PDF, right? Like we just went over that. But there doesn't appear to be anything on there. Anyways, okay, so we're going to go back and look. Let me see. Okay, so this is type, schematic, structure, project, PCB, output, BOM document. So that's what that is, but yeah, let's see. We'll go in here. Here, we'll go back to here. I want to finish thoroughly looking at, so output for free documents, Gerber files. We just went over this. There you go, right? There you go. So we saw bottom layer, solder mask, pad master, all that stuff. So this was that thing where I went through and we opened up with the black void and stuff. The drill files, we didn't actually look at any of these. We'll open them up. If I can find where they are. Because I actually didn't see them anywhere in our... Is that what that is? Yeah, NC drill file report. So it just tells us the... Okay, so it looks like this tells them the whole size information for the manufacturing. Maybe it's easier to convey this. So PTH is plated through hole. So yeah, so maybe it's just easiest to convey that information in this format. So there's that. Pick and place. Yeah, it's just a text document. So this is pretty interesting to explore this and kind of figure out what they're trying to convey. Pick and place. Oh, this is sort of like a BOM. Rotation description. So this is pretty cool. Yeah, because it's actually kind of interesting the way components are placed on a PCB. It's like they are. It's kind of like a claw machine, but I think it uses like a little suction cup type thing. But think of it like that. Literally, it's like a claw machine. It's like, you know, kind of. That's how it works. So it has to be like turned a certain way, you know. So, anyways, yeah, it's pretty interesting. Finally, yeah. So I want to go back to this, and I want to. I wonder what's going to happen. So I want to link the bill of materials now, but I want to double click because I want to format. So right now, format, and we don't want that. We want to try CSV because I don't have Microsoft Office. Maybe I'll make a Patreon. You guys can donate, and I can get Microsoft Office. But I'm mostly kidding about that. I would just pirate it. I'm kidding. I wouldn't pirate it. But yeah. So as a setup location for outputs, you can specify blah blah. Okay, dokie. I wonder if it's gonna give me like an overwrite. But because I want to basically what I want to do is go back and see if I can find that BOM document now. Because see output type. So that's job 1. Oh, here, I'll bring it on here. So it doesn't look like it added. Oh, it just says BOM document there, but I want like a. Like, what if we just do that? And what happens now? I hit generate content. So it should have. Project logs. So all I see is this BOM document. Oh, there we go. Now we got a BOM, and there's a CSV. We're gonna open it in Notepad. It's gonna look very similar. So there we go. So this is the manufacturer part number. This is our designator. This, I have no idea what the hell that is. Not sure what that is. Not sure what that is. That's the manufacturer. Same thing. Some other information that I don't know about. I mean, I've never actually looked at one of these in a CSV format. Usually I see them in Excel documents where they're kind of like readable by human eyes. So, oh, here we go. So it's just line number, name, description, designator, revision. Okay, revision. So revision 2 is probably what that is. Or state. Revision, state's released. So this is probably, well, that's probably the revision. I don't know. Maybe we'll take a look at one if I ever get Microsoft Excel in Excel format. But yeah, these are kind of important to figure out and learn about, because yeah, I've definitely seen some mistakes made in this part. If things get mixed up, you can come out with you literally can get a board that has like the wrong component values on it, and it just won't work. So yeah, so I think that basically concludes the tutorial that all I wanted to cover basically in this. I know I like rambled a lot and stuff. I hope you got something out of it. We'll go save all like that. And like I said, I would encourage you to look up a local manufacturer after this is done and just send them your generated documents and get a quote, right? Because it feels really good actually whenever you send it to an engineer and he comes back and goes, not only does he say, oh, we can manufacture this for you, like these documents tell us information that makes it so that, you know, we can actually build this thing for you. And you're like, really? That's really cool. But not only can they do that, but they'll do it for the low price of $600. And you're like, that's crazy. No one can afford that. And then it breaks your heart because, yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. I was mostly kidding about that. So yeah, that's pretty much all I said. But yeah, I would say if you even remotely got something out of this, like I said, I'm going to be making a lot more videos in the future. Comment down below topics you want me to cover. I have a whole list of stuff I know I want to cover. Hopefully I'll like refine these and get better and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll do way more than Altium tutorials here. I'm going to do a bunch of exciting projects because like I said, I'm still trying to further develop my skills as an engineer. So I'll be taking on plenty of projects. Any ideas you have for projects, I'll definitely take those as well. So yeah, I think it'll be a ton of fun. What else was I going to say? I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, if you got something out of it, and I'll see you next time.